Hey there, and welcome back to the athomedive YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping in today for the how to make barbecue ribs video. So there are plenty of different ways to make ribs, but today we're going to be doing it the absolute easiest and most controlled way in a thermal circulator, or sous vide almost, if you will. So let's dive right in and get going. But first, hit that subscribe button. On the counter today, we're going to start off with 2 cups of brown sugar, and I know this doesn't look that dark, but it's because I only had coarse brown sugar, so I ground it, and that made it a lot lighter. And to that, we're going to go ahead and add in 3.5 tablespoons of kosher salt, 3.5 tablespoons of black pepper, 3.5 tablespoons of paprika, and 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. We are also going to go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and 2 tablespoons of dry mustard powder here, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of celery salt. We're going to go and also add in 1.5 tablespoons of cumin, 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground bay leaves, and 1 teaspoon of coriander that's finely ground here. And what we're going to be rubbing down today, the ribs, as I mentioned, are over here. And before the video started, I went ahead and pulled the membrane off the back of the ribs. So whenever you get your ribs, feel around the edges and see if you can pull off the little thin membrane that's on the back. And what it does is it gets rid of the extra toughness that you're going to find with the membrane. So to get going today, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the bowl with the brown sugar, and we're going to add all the spices and the salt into it. And we're going to take a few minutes just to squeeze it all together and make sure we get rid of all the clumps that we have that you find in your dry spices, especially down here in the tropical areas. Alright, so now that we've got the dry rub mixed, you can see it's all like homogeneous now. It's all one color and one texture. Most of the clumps are gone. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to throw the 2 racks of ribs, or the 1 rack rather, that's cut in half, into a separate clean bowl. And we're going to take one of these bowls that we already have dirty, and we're going to use it as a scoop. And we're just going to scoop over into there, basically making sure that we don't touch this bowl into the bowl that has the pork on it, because we don't want to waste any of it. We just want to make sure that we get enough to coat completely. So we're going to be very generous, and we want to coat all of the pork very well. So we're just going to sprinkle it on really thick and kind of rub it all around together. So now we can completely set aside the extra dry rub, and if you look at this, it has that nice coating to it, okay? Alright, so now I've got 2 1-gallon Ziploc baggies here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them and open them up and stick a half a rack of ribs down in each one. And what we're doing here is we're making sure they got plenty of room, because that's going to come in really handy and important whenever we go to cook them here in a little bit. And the extra dry rub that's already in the bowls and contaminated with the pork, I'm just going to go ahead and dump it in there with it. And then I'm going to take it, press as much air out of it as possible, and seal the bags. Alright, so now we have our ribs. They're rubbed down, they're marinating, they got that nice flavor going, and we're going to stick them in the refrigerator, and we're going to come back and check on them first thing in the morning. Whatever dry rub that you have left over, keep in mind that you can just simply bag it up and put it in your cabinet and use it next time. Alright guys, so it's 7 a.m. the next day, and we have the circulator set up to 165 degrees here. I got about 7 liters of water in there, but really we only need enough to cover the pork. Pork's still here, it's been marinating. As you can see, some of the sugar's pulled a lot of the moisture out of it so that it's going to be nice and rich. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take and place the pork directly into the water. And as you can see, it completely sinks, so that's good. Because basically, as long as it's submerged, we're going to get a nice even cook. And I put them in 2 separate bags earlier, and I said I would explain why. If you see the water flow in between them, that's actually going to help us out quite a bit to make sure that they cook evenly. So, like I said, we're at 165 degrees, and we're going to come back in 12 hours. Alright guys, we are back. It's been 12 hours and now we are going to go ahead and take the ribs out of the circulator. As you can see, we're still at 165 degrees 12 hours later. And so that's why these are going to be nice and tender. So let's take them out of the bag. So as we can see here, we have these nice, beautifully crusted ribs that are nice and soft and tender. So we've also got our barbecue sauce here that's finished up in the time we've had to wait. And if you didn't get a chance to check out the barbecue sauce video, click the link above right now at the top of the screen. And we're going to get these bad boys on the grill. Alright, so we're outside. And luckily we've already got the grill cooking down, all the coals are ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the ribs on here and we're just going to coat them in barbecue sauce. I like to take a spoon and lay it on thick and then go back with a brush and kind of touch all the spots that you didn't get in the first run. So we're going to leave these here covered to cook for a little while and we're going to come on back. Keep in mind that the ribs are already fully cooked because they've been cooking for the past 12 hours. So at this point, we literally just want to get some caramelization of the sauce and stuff on there. Get that nice grilled flavor. Alright, so it's been about 6 minutes now and we can smell the ribs caramelizing down. We're just going to go ahead and turn them over. And then we're going to go ahead and sauce the back of them too. Keep in mind, it's never a bad idea to have a little bit of sauce left over too. That way you can stick it on there at the table whenever you want a little bit extra. Alright, so we're going to let these color up a little bit and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we've been on the other side for about 7-8 minutes now. And what we're going to do here is we're going to turn them over. And as you see that nice color starting to form and they're all sizzly and sticky. And that's exactly what we're going for. You see whenever we pick it up how much it flexes, and that's another good sign that they're going to be nice and tender. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and grab all the goodies here and we're going to go inside.